My fiancé left after someone sent him an old sex video of me with 3 men. It was before we met, but now he's questioning everything. I told him the truth, but he thinks I used him for his money. How do I fix what I can't erase? I am 24, and I have been with my fiancé, 29, for 4 years, and we have our wedding planned for this November. I don't know exactly when it happened, has to have been recently, but someone DM'd him a video of me from before we even met or either of us even knew each other. It's embarrassing, but without going into too much detail, it was a video of me sleeping with 3 men. It is very obviously me in the video, and it would be impossible for him to think it was anyone else. As far as I know, it was from an anonymous Instagram account, but it's been hard to get info. When we started dating, we never really talked about previous sex lives or anything, but I knew that I was his first girlfriend, and he knew that he was not my first boyfriend. He did not know about this, as I guess I didn't feel it was relevant or worthwhile to tell him. He confronted me on Monday about it, and has been very upset since. We had been living together, but he has moved in with a friend because he said he needed some time to think. When he confronted me, he flat out asked me how many men I had slept with, and I was honest with him and told him 8. He asked if I had ever cheated on him, and I said no, which is true. The thought of doing that had never even crossed my mind. Honestly, I was and am pretty hurt by how he reacted because I have always been faithful to him and am deeply in love with him. He said he thinks I might be using him because he has a high salary, but that couldn't be further from the truth. I tried explaining that to him, but I don't know if he believes me. I was going through a very weird and very tough time in my life when that video was recorded, and I know now it was a bad idea, but it's not like I can undo it or anything. I guess I'm worried he's going to break up with me over this, and I would really like advice from the community on how to handle moving forward with this situation. Best comments. There's not much you can do. While we're usually aware our partners have a sexual history, it can be hard to handle when it's shoved in our face. Hope he recognizes that you love him and are faithful to him, and he's able to process it. Thanks for the reply. I feel terrible for what I did back then, but I also feel like he's acting like I cheated on him, which I don't think is fair. I didn't think we really had any problems in our relationship up until this point, and everything was going so well. This is about the lying, not the sex. Yes, you should have disclosed your entire sexual past early in the relationship. I have participated in consensual taboo sexual experiences that I told my wife about a month into our relationship. She took a minute to absorb the information, asked questions, and we moved on. So, you lied by omission, but did you lie by commission? For instance, did he ask you anything like, "What's the most out-of-this-world sex thing you've done?" And you failed to mention the orgy? Another issue may be feeling jilted. Did he ask you if you were open to a threesome or swinging? If so, did you say no to avoid having to admit your experience with that kind of sex? He has never asked me to do a threesome or asked if I was interested in them. I honestly don't know how I would have reacted if he did. I probably would have just told him, but I guess it would be dependent on the conversation. We never had a sexual history conversation, so I assumed he wasn't interested. I think that's a fair assumption, and given that I didn't want to force information on him, I didn't think he wanted to know. I wasn't purposefully hiding it from him. I just didn't think he wanted to know, so I didn't tell him. If he wanted to know, I would have told him. It was just never something that came up, and I guess I thought it would have been awkward to bring up myself. I totally understand your point of view, but I didn't think he cared, but he obviously does. And I know it was a bad decision. It was all before I even knew him, and I haven't talked to any of the people involved in years. I don't know where it could have come from. I would like to pursue something, but I don't have the video and never had it. The video was taken with my consent. It was a bad decision, I understand that. Like I said in the post, we never talked about previous sexual history, but he knew I had exes, so I guess I assumed that meant he knew I'd had an amount of sex before. Obviously, I wouldn't expect him to think of that as the same as this, but I just wish he gave me a better opportunity to explain myself. I regret doing it, but I was in a bad place when I did. I guess it would make more sense to me if I knew him when I had done this, but I didn't even know him then. And I haven't talked to any of the other participants in years. If the roles were reversed, I would have enough trust in him to not immediately jump to accusing him of cheating. It would obviously be on my mind, but I'd let him explain himself. First, you need to figure out which of the three guys did it, contact a lawyer, and file police report because this is a sex crime. There need to be consequences for them, so they don't do it again in the future. Now about your fiancé, there is really not much more you can do. Remind him it was in the past. It was a bad period of your life and you regret doing it. But honestly, seeing your significant other on camera having sex with just one person is tough, but with three men, well, I can't even imagine. And because you are this guy's first girlfriend and probably hasn't done those things in the past, it can't help. Are you doing anything in that video you haven't done with him? Moaning louder than you usually do? Do the guys have bigger Ds? Because if even just one of those things is the case, then you've got a big uphill battle to climb, unfortunately. And more, you said you had sex with 8 guys before you had met your boyfriend, but any man is going to have some difficulties in believe a woman that is capable of having sex with 3 guys at the same time has only a body count of 8 guys. I think that may be the bigger problem here as well. Do I think you can salvage this relationship? Possibly, I don't know. The ball is in his court. I have a lawyer and am working with the police at this point. And yes, I am doing a number of things in the video I haven't done with him. Update number 1, 5 months and 7 days after the first post. Since my first post, we did have a few conversations, but none ever really went anywhere, as it basically boiled down to him saying he didn't think he would be able to spend the rest of his life with someone who would do something like I did. I tried explaining that it was a mistake and something I would never even consider doing again, but it didn't really seem to matter to him, I guess. Obviously, he is free to make his own decisions about his life. But it's just devastating to me that this happened. I was crazy love with him, and it's all gone because of something that happened before I even knew he existed. So, I guess pretty short update. I haven't talked to him for about a month because there's really nothing else to say to him, I guess. A lot of people had asked me to post an update at the time of the original post, and I guess I was just getting around to it now. Thanks for reading. Best comments. When I read your original post, I immediately saw that the problem wasn't the lie by omission or your number of sexual partners. It was the act of having sex with 3 guys at once. That's something any guy wouldn't want his wife to have on her CV. You say you never did anything like that before or after, but I'm certain your ex thought that if you did the 3-guy thing, you most likely did the 2-guy thing before. Now is the time to move on and be open with your next boyfriend. As you found out, this is the kind of information that can end a relationship. Any luck finding out who sent it? One of the 3 dudes who has a crush on you and wanted to torpedo your wedding? Whoever did it committed a crime against you. I hope they are discovered. Totally not fair, but I guess you'll have to disclose this encounter with future serious relationships and tell that a vid might be sent to him as revenge. Sorry, this is happening. You are still young. You can overcome this. I did not have any luck finding out who sent it, no, which is an extra punch in the guy on top of all this. It's scary to think that's still out there, and whoever sent it probably will again, the next time I get involved with someone. There should be a way to track who sent it through the video's metadata, or at the least from whatever email/account/phone number sent it. The guys in the video could be suspects. What have the investigators said? Really sorry that this has done so much damage to you and your relationship with your fiancé. Honestly, the police did not seem interested in helping me when I brought this up to them, and that was very disheartening for me, so I guess I didn't pursue it much after that. This happened to a friend of mine. When she was 19, she did something really stupid on Omegle. She was talking to a guy who had just joined, and they started playing a stupid game where she earned points if she did what he said. Basically, she showed her breasts, her butt, and her V several times. She also talked dirty to the guy and even played with herself for a few seconds. 11 years later, her fiancé saw the video, and after 3 horrible long months, he ended the relationship. He was very religious, and what she did 7 years before they met was too much for him. Update number 2, 7 days after the last update. This was kind of a long time coming, I guess, but it became official recently, which led me to finding this subreddit, I guess. I'm trying to be understanding of his point of view, as no one would want to see someone they love like that, but at the same time, I feel like I am also a victim here from that kind of thing being shared, and I also feel hurt that he wasn't in my corner defending me from that. From the various discussions we've had, He has said he simply can't see himself spending the rest of his life with me after seeing the video, and that he feels like I misled him by not bringing up that I'd done something like this when we first started dating. I totally understand he's allowed to feel how he feels, but at the same time it was from before I even knew him, and I realized it was a mistake almost immediately, and have never had any desire to do something like that again. And it's also not like I was purposefully hiding it from him, or lied about it, or anything. The topic just never came up, and it's not like I'm just going to drop something like that on someone. Or maybe I should have, and that would have made it better. I don't know. I know it's cliché or whatever, but I really feel like he was the one for me, and now it's over, and I have no chance with him anymore. He pretty much shut me out after this happened, but I still managed some conversations, but that's pretty much over now. I tried to pursue legal action about the video being sent, and he was helpful with that, I guess, and I was hopeful that might change his mind or something, but it didn't, and my pursuit didn't go anywhere either, as I didn't really have anything, and he deleted the video shortly after it was sent. I guess I feel like I'm rambling, but I feel totally lost right now and could use any advice anyone on here would be willing to give. This is the first real breakup I've had, and I get things get better with time, I guess, but I'm just having a hard time accepting it's over right now. Best comments. I think now you need to focus on who has the video and how you can get it deleted. If you were under 18 at the time, you can approach the men and tell them to delete it in front of you, or you call the police. I was not underage in the video. I tried pursuing it with the police, but that was frankly a very embarrassing situation, and I will likely not do that again. Have you reached out to the three guys? Did you know you were being recorded and consented? How was your sex life with your ex? Fairly vanilla? I have not reached out to them, and hadn't for a number of years. I wasn't friends with them anymore by the time I met my now ex-fiancé. Yes, I knew and consented to being recorded. Like I said, it was a terrible idea and I regretted it almost immediately. I had asked them to delete it, and they said they did, but apparently not. My ex and I had a very good sex life that we were both very happy with. What was your relationship with these guys like at the time? Did you date any of them? I was friend with them for a while. We did not date. Did any of them want to date you? Or hook up again? They did want to hook up again, but I declined. Had you hooked up with any of them more than that one time? No, it was just that time.